Rambling Reviews with Steve. Who's Steve? Steve Swift. Steve Swift. Steve Swift's Rambling Review.
Ding, 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 ding. Check us out. Round six. Round six of my second bout. I didn't have enough the first time. I wasn't beaten around the face and body enough, and so I've tried again. And it's going rather well this time. I've even tried some singing in this Steve Swift's business of boxing and boxing of boxing tonight, folks. Frolics. The boxing of boxing for marvellous Law Live Audio Wrestling. Yes, with the Tidster and Uncle Brady. Yes, and that might be the highlight of my whole podcast this week. Well, it's not a podcast, is it? A video. It's a video. It's actually got moving pictures on it. Can't believe it. I never thought they'd catch on, but they have. And usually it's a bit late this week. I've had a very busy week doing all sorts of things. Tobogganing, macrame, vice presidential election, all of that. And that was just this week. So it's been very difficult. However, I'm here now, and there wasn't an awful lot. I was going to say I struggled to find a match this week, but I didn't struggle at all. There weren't an awful lot of matches on. So for the boxing of boxing, it wasn't as if I'm saying, oh my word, look at that great. Not like the Dubois and Joshua fight, which is this weekend, isn't it? I think it's this weekend. I think it is, folks. I think it's this weekend. This weekend. The weekend coming up. You know that one? The one that's just about to be here. 2 days away. It's that weekend, I think. Or it could be the weekend after. I can't remember, and I can't be bothered to check. So, I've alighted on a match that I think... I mean, some people will really know of this, and some people may well not. And I have my notes down here, you see, because I don't want to miss anything. It would be... I mean, it's not for an entirely tasty belt. It's not if you're going to, it's not sort of, this is for all the marbles for your unified super middleweight titles. It is in the super middleweight division, I believe. And it's for the WBC. Let me get this right. I don't think I will, but the WBC continental title and the WBA international title, I think. And I think it's the interim titles, no less, of both of them. So it's not even the proper titles, it's the interim titles, yes. So, now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a poor match or anything, but it does mean that certain people may not watch it. They may think, oh, well, that's not going to be a great match, or it's not for all the marbles, is it? So, they could be thinking, well, I won't bother. And if they didn't, then they missed out on a treat, on something similar to a treat. Because this is Christian and Billy and Sergei Derevianchenko. That's right, Derevianchenko. Who, Derevianchenko is very, he takes a licking and keeps on ticking. He's very, he soaks up punishment. He can do that. And that's a good point and a good thing, because on this match and in this match, he definitely needed that. First of all, he's fighting Christian and Billy, who actually is, I think, probably someone who's been overlooked. He's a power puncher. He's a precise puncher. I don't think it's known yet whether he can take a great beating. But he's fast, he's smooth, he's accurate, he tends to load up a bit too much, and he also comes forward. So actually there's a chance of smacking him one when he comes forward. But you're not going to get much chance to do that because he's a damn good boxer. Although Derevianchenko is well thought of as well. Takes a lot of punishment. Keeps coming at you, and that can sometimes put people off, and it can sometimes break their spirit. Not with Christian and Bealey, though. No. Now, and Bealey was the aggressor right from the beginning here. He's got a kind of piston body shot. He's using the jab, and suddenly, in this first round, a child screams, "Knock him out!" A child. It wasn't, it was either an adult with a child's voice, or someone, or a ventriloquist, or something like that, or a child. And it probably was a child. It was a bit odd, a little bit odd, but, and Billy probably is the crowd favourite here, I would say. He's well thought of, isn't he? And, Derevyanchenko took a big right hand. That overhand right from Mbili, it's not that fast, but it's blooming brutal. It's like a battering ram to sing Judas Priest to you. Pounding your opponent like a battering ram. It would be from British Steel. First track, and it's slightly paraphrased, but there you go. It's fantastic here. He fights back though. Derevyanchenko takes it and fights back. Now, Mbili just continued with his task. He didn't go, "Oh, this Sergey bloke, he might actually be a little bit more durable than I thought." That was the word I was looking for early on. Durable. Yeah. Couldn't find it then. Can find it now. Synapses firing. At my age, it's a wonder I can even get out of the chair. Well, I can't without making those noises. I never thought those noises would happen when I got out of the chair. I thought elderly people do that. And also when sitting in the chair. That sort of thing. So, and could sample that, make it into a loop, and maybe Uncle Brady could make it into some kind of rap extravaganza, as he is sometimes known to do. Anyway, let's get into the second round. Now, Mbili didn't change at all. He was working the body and the head. Big right hand was there. The overhand right was there all the time. And it worried Derevyanchenko. At one point, it really did pretty much worry him. He was in survival mode, it seemed, but he never really seemed like he was going to fall, touch down, or was so discombobulated that there was going to be a problem for him, a severe problem. Now, in the third, the thing is that it takes a certain kind of character to see that you're not really being successful, feel that you're shipping punishment, and yet think, "I'll continue to work because the harder I work, the more successful I get." As Michael Caine, I think, said, didn't he? Not always in boxing, not when you've got an opponent like Mbili, who is sitting down on his punches and loading up a bit too much perhaps, but is sleek and precise, and he's just smacking you around the head. Just smacking you around the head. It's just something he does. "I smack you around the head. I'll just do it." It's, I sound like some kind of Victorian villain then. "I smack you around the head. Ha ha." Yeah, he didn't do anything like that. He wasn't wearing a stovepipe hat and twirling a moustache. Pretty much like this twirling moustache. "Ha ha. I smack you around the face and head. Ha ha ha." No, he didn't do anything like that. Well, if he did, I didn't hear it. But anyway, Derevyanchenko just kept working. He was sitting down on his punches a little bit more, and Mbili was doing less jabbing, but he still had a really piston-like left hand. It was really strong. Then we've got some heavy work in the fourth from Derevyanchenko, and he was doubling and tripling up the right hand. And there was a reason for that. The left hand was completely and utterly limp. And the commentary team posited, you can look it up, posited the idea that his bicep might be curling up because it was ripped. Now, that's going to really affect one, isn't it? Particularly if you're not of the mindset where you're going to quit on your stool. You're not going to do a no-mass. It's, you're going to carry on, aren't you, if you're Derevyanchenko? You are. And so, what he did was that he worked with the right. he doubled and trebled it up, and it kind of focused his mind. And he had the best round that he'd had so far. He only had one arm, folks, and he had the best round that he could have had, that he'd had since the fight started. This is the fourth. He worked incredibly hard. I mean, because his left hand was down, he couldn't really defend that well from the right. And either Mbili thought, I don't quite think I want to hit him very much. I'm sure that's not the case. This is boxing after all, and competitive professional boxing at that. Not that Olympic thing, professional boxing at that. And I don't think he thought, oh, I'll leave it. He's hurt. Leave him. Let him win. I don't think he thought that at all. I think he thought, well, I can finish him off here. But he didn't, because his movement was better. Derevyanchenko's movement was better. I mean, it was even better when he came out for the sixth. So, and by the way, by then, they'd iced that bicep and it was working a little better. And he could put his hand up to, for defence. That defence thing that you need to do when you're being battered around the face and the head with other shots, that sort of thing. So you've got Mbili just carrying on with his task, digging in with his right hands because he loved that punch in the seventh. Derevyanchenko actually hurt Mbili with a body shot, and Mbili suddenly was in survival mode. It took him about 30 seconds to actually get his wind, to get his legs back under him, and then you could see him think, oh, ha-ha! He didn't do any of that. But, he put his stovepipe hat back on, twirled his moustache and went, I'm back! Ha-ha-ha! And he just set about, the thing is, he just sets about tiring you out, head and body, real precision. I mean, he had a huge right hand. He loved that right hand, which staggered Derevyanchenko. And in the ninth, an enormous Mbili left, actually, staggered him again. So strong, and the cards were wide. 100-90, 99-91, 98-92, for, of course, Christian Mbili, of course. And he is a fantastic talent. Extraordinary. What made the fight even better, actually, was that Sergei Derevyanchenko came to fight. He came to take punches. He came to fight through the pain. He came to fight through a curled bicep. Sounds like a prog band. Curled bicep. Or a metal band. Curled bicep. Ah. Yeah, it does sound like that. Kind of thing I would review for the magazines I write for. Anyway, Mbili is a fantastic champion and is still the proud holder of those two belts. The ones I mentioned earlier that I can't remember anymore, because it's not as if anyone's saying, they're the top belts in the whole business. They're not saying that. But he is a fantastic middleweight. I mean, he's big at the weight as well. And he's just so precise. It looks so easy. He sets about his task. He smacks you around the ring. He's so precise with the head and body shots. He gets through. And for those who haven't seen this fight, it's on YouTube, have a look, because it's good to get, if you don't know him, and a lot of people don't, it's good to get a sight of a boxer that you've not seen before that you're going to actually love. And I heartily endorse Christian Mbili for your watching pleasure. Something fallen on the floor there. Blimey. It could be my hopes and dreams. No, they fell on the floor a long time ago. Anyway, I shall no doubt see you next week. Have a look at this fight. And until then, with the business of boxing, oh ho ho! Ta-ta!
RockSolidFanClub.ca gives you full access to Canada's leader in professional wrestling, featuring legends like Mick Foley, modern megastars such as Cody Deaner, and future sensations like Tyler Turva. RockSolidFanClub.ca offers exclusive series, podcasts, live streams, specials, and full events, all for less than $9 a month. Sign up today at RockSolidFanClub.ca, where real fans get it.